At Tissenkoppies, and we brought a bunch of guys out to come and ride the beta range. Out at Tissenkoppies, and we brought a bunch of guys out to come and ride the beta range. This is Ryan Hunt. So we said, well, come on now, come and ride the 300 beta and give us an opinion. And yeah, he's been smiling. And then of course we've got Michael Vessels, who's a regular tester for us. And then James Lottering is also out. You'll remember James did the PZ 490 for us. So that was pretty cool. Both very experienced riders and motocross boys. So we're going to hear what they have to say about the betas today. What is really interesting to me anyway is that beta has continued to make the 200. That's the little 200. You can see plenty of torque, and up it goes. Glenn, that's your personal bike, eh?
Yeah.
And
it's my personal bike.
You like it? You have to say that because you import them.
It's my new best friend.
Ah, okay. Ryan, so first impressions, please, off the cuff.
I think my first one was I couldn't believe it's still a car bike. How responsive it was. I didn't even. It felt just as good as an electronic fuel injection. I think that was the first thing, and the second thing is how nice the brakes are. The Nissan brakes, they just touch them and they work first time, and they grab, and you got proper braking without having to have forearms like Popeye.
The traction like on this bike?
Sure, it comes right off the bottom very easily. First gear is quite short, I felt, so you can even lug it in second. In terms of suspension, I think it's a touch set up a little touch hard for me, but otherwise it works well.
Good.
You know.
Good. And this we need to tell. This is only after a short ride.
Yeah, there's still a bit more to do.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we're going to take her out on some of the faster stuff now, and if you can open the throttle a little bit, tell us what you think when we catch you there, and then there's some more rocks for us to play on.
Yes.
Perfect. Mike, first time on a 200 two-stroke, and I know you've only had it for a very little time. Please just give me your very first impressions on the Beta 200.
Very first impressions, I'm surprised on like the low torque on the bottom end. Like even when you're in first or second even, idling, you're hardly on the throttle and it takes you over all those loose rocks. It's quite steep over there.
Yeah.
And it just chugs over those loose rocks. And it idles so low, you think actually it's going to stall. You know, you're used to the old school two-strokes. It just puts over the rocks.
Okay, so anyone worrying about power, it's an unfounded...
No, I think it's an awesome bike. I think it's more than capable. So yeah, keen to see what it does for the rest of the day.
Brilliant. Let's go riding.
Awesome.
Right, so this is James Lottering. You would have seen him. He's done a lot of testing for us. He did the Covey, he did that PZ 490, and then he personally rides a 150 motocross racer. You can see the style, and his first time out on the 200. Fairly steep. It always looks flattened when you put on video, but lots of loose rock and stuff. So you can see they climb beautifully.
Second was much better. It's got so much torque in second.
Yeah.
James, first time out on the 200, and you're off a 150. What's your opinion?
And not a rock bike. I normally race motocross, but
yeah.
I love this thing. It's incredible. I love the power delivery. I came up in first the first time, and then I was instructed to come and do it up in second.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the power delivery and how much torque it's got in the bottom.
Did you find she stalls anywhere?
No.
So you didn't pull a Glen on the crowd?
The power delivery is super linear, and it's just, as Mark said, it just chugs along.
And the overall feel of the bike, how do you like the slimness, the ergonomics, all that sort of stuff?
The ergonomics are cool. I mean, I love Beta. I've been eyeing out one of their motocross versions for a while, and I love the bike. It's such a cool product.
Cool. Let's go play some more. Always gets very flattened out on video, but we're going to get them to go down and then come back up again. I want you actually just to listen to the engines. Here goes Ryan. Here come the boys. They love the flat fast. These are motocross boys, and then they hit the marbles. Let's see. Biggest thing, listen to the engines. I'm going to ask what mode they're in when they get up here. Of course, there's a mapping switch, and then mild is for the rocks. Got the line a little bit wrong, spinning a bit, but traction back. Woo! Come on, James. It recovers, and it's actually fairly easy. James, listen, I've got to ask you a question. Did I see a mlot on the rocks?
There was a code brown moment.
Do you know what a mlot is?
No?
A momentary lapse of talent.
Yeah. There's a code brown moment because I kind of tried to follow his line, and I was like 20 centimeters over, and I clapped the most biggest rock on the mountain.
Russ, you and I saw that. That rock wasn't that big.
No.
That is a code brown. Brown as in lots of bull coming out of there. Listen, I'm going to ask you a question. What mode are you in?
I have no idea.
There
I
we
just
go.
got on and rode it.
Have a look at that quickly. Just started. Let's see what mode. Now this is the beauty of these bikes. They've got a mapping switch. And remember, this is on a carbureted bike. So you're in fast mode.
Oh.
Alright, so what I want you to do, go into rain mode, go down again, and do that again, and let's see what the difference is. Tell us what you feel, please. Perfect. Were you in rain mode or fast mode? He didn't look. Should we have a look on your bike? What's that in? What mode is it in, Mike? Just check what mode it's in.
So now it's in the more wild mode.
Okay,
sunny mode.
so now you want to go for rocks, you put it into, they say rain mode.
Okay,
Should be a
so
little
try
bit
it out.
easier. Okay. Right, so we put both bikes into rain mode now. It says rain, it's obviously just a softer power delivery mode. Let's see how they do coming up, and then I'm going to ask them if they could feel, James especially, feel the difference. Somebody's stalled down there. Right, here comes James. Let's see. He did the first run. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says. Mike is battling a bit down there. Right, so Mike has actually changed the modes halfway up the mountain. Let's hear what he says. He's gone from soft to faster. This suits his riding style. James, that was a little bit better, slightly. So tell me, could you feel the difference in the modes?
Absolutely, definitely, 100%.
Okay, because very often, and especially on the older bikes, they've given us 3 or 4 riding modes.
Yeah.
You push the buttons, there's no apparent pattern, but change. But even just watching you come up, it seemed a little bit more effortless.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, up and down the hill. Mike, I saw you started in soft, and then by the time you got 3/4 of the way up, you said, no, I'm going to put in too fast. Why is that? Is it just because of your riding style?
No, I feel because it's a lot of loose ground. Look, I think if it's wet and like muddy, I think that's why the rain thing is there.
Yeah.
If it's like a lot of like moldy rocks and super slippery stuff,
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes into play. There's quite a big difference between the modes.
So you can feel it big time.
Big time difference. Like we're saying now, it's not some of the other bikes you don't really notice too much.
Yeah.
This one you immediately notice.
very
As soon as
apparent.
I switched it over, I mean I just climbed up and I was
Okay.
like, okay, that's the difference.
Perfect. Ryan, you just did it in fast. I don't believe that you tried the soft mode. Is that fair comment? How did she feel to you coming up? And I'm going to ask the golden question. Of the 2 bikes, the short little bit we've done, which would be your weapon of choice? And why?
It depends where you're riding and what you're riding. It's I love the 200 because it's light. If you're going to go for a ride all day and go from sun up to sundown, take the 200. because
Easy
then
bike
you'll
to ride.
Then you still might have energy when you come back. The 300, when you get on this thing has got power that never says die.
Yeah.
And maybe by lunchtime on that full day ride, you might be feeling a bit tired.
Can I ask a question without mentioning brands or anything of the sort? How does this 300 compare to the majority of the other 300s that you've ridden?
It stacks up as well as anything else that I've ridden in a 300 capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even with the carburation, you said at the beginning you can't believe it's a carby.
I can't believe, today it hasn't oiled up once.
Yeah.
That's my recollection of carbs. Is like you get to a section and you're like, okay, now let's just wind it up, get the unburnt two-stroke out. And I haven't had any of that today. I get to a section and it just takes.
Brilliant. James, now we were having a good chat as well. You are something of a speedmaster, and I understand that, but you said something very interesting when we got to the top of the hill. Why would the 200 be your choice?
Because, as Ryan touched on, it's a bit lighter, and for me the power delivery is a lot better. Here, like coming up the rocks, I found on the 300, this is the throttle response, getting back to the carburetor now. If you blip the throttle a little bit, and you are an unexperienced enduro rider like me, it will throw you off, and that's why I prefer the 200, because it's a lot more linear. And I was, bouncing around, shaking around, and I got up the hill a lot easier on the 200 than I did on the 300.
Perfect. So boys, I'm going to ask you this question now, Russ. Would you stand with Glenn? So maybe you guys are onto something as the beta importers. You're offering something that another brand doesn't have. I know there's the 150 out there, which may lack a little bit for bigger riders. The 200 fits the gap. Is that the thinking behind Beta's arsenal here?
There's definitely a market for in the 200 range, and Beta are the only guys that are doing it, so we're going to try to tackle that market.
Brilliant stuff. So your personal bike is the 200. You're obviously a more senior rider, but I said very respectfully, obviously. Why the 200? You've ridden all of them, obviously. Why have you chosen the 200?
Yeah, look, for my riding level and my skill, and particularly my weight, because I weigh very little.
All right.
The 200's actually got more than enough power for me. If I get on the 300, I find it's a handful. I'm not comfortable on it. It makes me tired quickly. Whereas the 200, I can carry on, like Ryan said. If you want to ride the whole day, that's the bike to ride.
Easy bike to ride. Okay, no, that's cool. That's good comment. Thank you, guys. Right, Mike's in on the 300. It's the first time he's been out on it. There's a big hole here. I hope he sees it. Let's see what he does. There he goes there. Look at the control. Very smooth. Come on now. Here comes Ryan. So we made a quick little loop because it's well doing hard enduro, but we want to see what it's like on the faster stuff. And that man is quick. Quick one, sir. First time on the 300. Can I please have your point of view?
I really enjoyed the 300. I went up the mountain. I want to feel it's the first time I rode it. And second gear just idles up, literally.
So you've got enough chugga lug to get you through everything.
Yeah, but it's very, very smooth. Not as aggressive as some of the other 300s like we used to.
That's what I felt riding it in. It just feels smooth and well planted and easy to ride. Mike, let me ask you a question. So you actually went up quite a tricky piece there. You would prefer this, here comes the yummy in the background, you would prefer this to the 200 because of the additional power?
Yeah, additional power. However, the weight, you do feel the weight difference.
So it feels a little bit
200
heavier.
is quite a lot lighter.
Okay, lekker.
Especially when you bring it past its balance point, when you lean it over, you can hold the 200 up much easier.
Okay, bro. Right, off you go. Go and enjoy the loop. We'll catch you coming through here. Right, I hear a Speedmaster approaching. Look at that suspension at work. Does anyone tell him that I'd like to have a chat with him about what he thinks on the fast stuff? Oh, here he comes. Okay. Up on the back wheel. Ryan, quick loop. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing, coming off riding 125s and 150 motocrosses and then getting onto something that's more enduro friendly. You expect it to have a lot of that high-end like rev, but really when you come to enduro, it's not what you need.
Yeah, you want the torque.
You want the torque.
Yeah.
So, and especially for the harder enduro these days. So, yeah, it's nice. It's quite balanced out there. Didn't do anything funny. It's got some legs when you.
This is the 200. Easy to ride. I think that's the whole thing Beach is aiming at. Easy to ride for everybody.
Simple, light. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, let's pop you on the 300 and go and do another 7 laps, please, sir. Before lunchtime.
You got it.
Right, here comes Mike in on a fast lap. Let's see what he says when he comes in. If we can get him off the bloody thing. But he's grinning. Oh no, my granny can wheelie better than that. Nice. How much fun was that?
I like this thing.
Hey, you want one? Right.
I like
All right, where's your checkbook? Come on. Sir, you heard it. Hey, there's your order. I get commission, hey? And it's in euros, so.
it's in euros.
Okay, why do you like it? Tell me why you like it.
Because it reminds me of my bike. It's got sort of the same bottom end
Your bike being the?
150
Yeah.
SX.
That's fine.
And I think it's the perfect enduro bike for somebody that's not going to go out there and try and win the Uzberg rodeo.
Oh, there we have. Well, I wonder about that. If it's small and light and you can ride it all day, he might just be mistaken, hey? Yeah. Where a 300 could make you a little bit tired, maybe.
Johnny Walker will disagree with you.
Johnny Walker says you're talking more bull. What was that brown moment that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the code brown moment. that massive drop. But yeah, this thing's really good, eh? I really, really enjoy it.
Excellent stuff. Right, I'm going to put Ryan onto it for a fast lap if you don't mind, sir. So this is the loop we made is a typical kind of enduro easy flowing loop. It's really, really good. Ah, Mike's caught him. Mike's in on the 200. I think he took a shortcut. Mike, tell me, how does it feel to almost smoke Ryan Hunt? You just about overtook him. He's just come through right now.
Oh, super fun. And it's surprising, like it's so smooth that it makes it feel like it's quite slow. But when you open it up, it just keeps going because it's so smooth. It just keeps on going, and really awesome bike.
So deceptively quick. Different in what way?
To what you normally used to, definitely.
Okay, why? You have to explain that. You can't just leave us hanging.
Because it's so smooth and it's like so like easy and like plush and so, you know, it's so like forgiving on you, you know. So it's deceiving. So when you keep winding and winding, it just keeps going. It's not like there's a power band.
Yeah.
I mean, especially coming from the older bikes now.
Yeah.
It's like nothing and then bang.
Yeah.
It's smooth delivery all the way through.
And that's effectively what you want. You want torque and
smoothness.
smoothness.
With the carburetor, it's amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this now. 300 or 200, what's your weapon of choice?
I would say they're both really cool.
Don't sit on the fence. Your checkbook now, which would you buy?
For technical, 200. But I think for myself, the 300.
Excellent. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
And how was that?
I tried the two mapping switches there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's both enough power in both, but when you put it onto the faster switch, it's just the throttle response is much quicker.
Brilliant. So it's more fun.
More power is always more fun.
No replacement for displacement. That's what they always say. No, brilliant, Ryan. Thanks a million, sir. So Ryan came out the river and said, that wasn't any good. Got a better one. Very cool. You know, anyone watching this abroad, maybe even in Italy where they build this brand, we have some of the very best riding in South Africa. We're very fortunate there. Right, so guys, that was our little midweek break. These are the beaters, Italian brand, out and about. We'll catch the importers shortly. We'll have a little chat about the brand, where you can buy them, what they're up to. We're heading back to base camp. I'm with Russell Campbell and Glenn Pringle from Beta South Africa. Beta is back in South Africa with a formal dealership and good backup. Is that fair comment, chaps? 100%. Like anything in life, people buy a bike like this and they want to know about A, backup, and B, service parts, and should it break, parts, general parts for repair and so on. Okay, I'm out and I blow a piston. What's involved?
Off the shelf.
Off the shelf. You've
Got stock on all the fast moving stuff, the clutches, the piston kits, the gasket sets, the master cylinders, anything that goes on a motorcycle, which over time it surely does give you a bit of problem. Of course, we do have stock.
Okay, brilliant. And should you not have a part, let's say something stupid goes, like then somebody breaks a hub, I mean, what would
then this man brings it in 3 days.
3 days. 3 days for a part. From order, 3 days.
That's what it is.
It's not bad. There we go. So you look at a beta, you've got the backup, you've got the know-how with Russell and his team, of course. And parts are the one thing that everyone's going to ask about. I hope that answers your question. We've been out today on the 300 and the 200. We've got some test riders who came out with us, including multiple national and international champion Ryan Hunt. They only had nice things to say, but it's probably because they were just being polite because you guys were here. But we've had a proper good time, and you'll see some of the footage. We'll run a full feature, and I'll tell you about the bikes that we rode. These are 23s. The new 25s are on their way. Is that right, sir?
24s.
24s are on their way.
25s at the end of the year.
25s at the end of the year. So on the water now, how many are we looking at?
12.
Okay, so 12 bikes are inbound, and you can chat to Russell Campbell Racing about it. And then there's another shipment of 40 that are on the way. Chaps, only 2 strokes for the time being.
At the moment, Glenn, yeah, we just we want to get it going slowly.
Yeah.
And once we've sort of got a decent baseline going, then we'll maybe look at 4 strokes in the year to stop.
Okay, and then I believe you bring in the little cross trainer, which is, I'm looking very forward to that.
Yeah, Russell's probably better one to tell you about that. He knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, so the cross train is it's like a hybrid. You can almost do full pro trails in it, and you can go give it a good run in the mountains at pace.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. We rode. It's obviously a few years ago. The cross trainer back then. It's the perfect bike for anybody getting into the sport, and for someone, for example, who's been injured, who doesn't want to ride his big 300 and just wants to get fit and stuff. Lekker. And that's soon, hey guys. So
yeah, that arrives on Tuesday.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we'll come down to the shop and we'll do a little bit of a chat on that.
Yeah.
But guys, I just want to say thanks. What a lekker day. You can look them up. I'll post the details of websites and all that sort of thing. The pricing is pretty sharp as well, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's not bad. 159 for the 200 and 165 for the 300.
Brilliant. Glenn, talk me through your model range. What exactly is it that you guys are bringing?
All right. So in this shipment, there's 200s, 300s, and a cross trainer.
Okay.
Okay. In the 25s at the end of the year, 200s, 300s, probably cross trainer, but both standard and the racing versions.
Okay, just to fill you in on that, the racing version comes up with KYB suspension. Standard, if I'm not mistaken, it's 6.
Standard is 6.
Standard is 6.
The racing doesn't come with the oil injection.
Yeah.
The RRs come with oil injection.
Okay, and then also just to let you guys know, both of these are oil injected. These are the guys. Beta is, I think they market themselves as the fun bike. They say the fun bike, but you guys have actually signed quite a lot of top riders in Europe.